Good evening and welcome back to our channel. Firstly, before we start showing you any birds, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I mean, we're at 800 plus subscribers now and we've only been doing this just a little over 3 months. So obviously you must be liking what we're doing. Now, before I do get on certain things, there is a couple of points I want to make, or comments, for instance. Sometimes we do get, certain comments. I had one on Facebook saying it's like watching paint dry. Well, I hate painting, so if you don't like what you're watching, then just don't watch it. It's simple as that. On the other side, the positive side of things, we've got a lot of newcomers that are messaging us and leaving comments, which this is what we're trying to achieve out of this. I mean, between me, Matt at the Canary Room and Oliver at OC Avery's, we're trying to help the hobby along and encourage more people into it. So there's just a couple of, I took a picture of actually the comments from a couple of the comments on YouTube, and one of them is a 16-year-old, and I think it speaks for itself. One comment was from Chad, as you'll see in the picture. Love your content, I am 16 years old, breeder, and love your videos, it's helping me out a lot. So that says everything really. We can't do any fairer than that. It is what we're trying to do, is help people, and not just our ways. It's trying to show different ways that you may be able to add one thing or another thing to how you breed and how you keep your birds. Comment is from Keith Richards. It was on the bobbing of eggs. Now, I've explained on Wednesday's video that behind me there was 2 nests. The eggs was late, there was about 17 days, and they didn't act. So I bobbed the eggs to show in the video of bobbing eggs. Day after, chicks was in the nest. So, but his comment was he had a phone call from his son. Said that the eggs had not hatched, he was going to throw them out, and he said no, bob the eggs, and same thing the day after the 5 eggs hatched. So it just shows that people are actually taking note of some stuff that we are doing, and appreciate you watching, Keith. I know you're a regular viewer. Now, so far as obviously trying to get new people into the hobby, one thing to bear in mind, I know over the last year or so we've lost at least 7 people I know of, really good birdmen. Only 2 last week. One good friend of mine only lived 5 miles away from me, a good bully man, good goldfinch man, and he passed away on Monday. So that's the whole point. If we don't bring new people into this, it's a dying hobby. Majority. Sorry, the bullfinch just been treading then. The majority of keepers of birds nowadays are in the older age bracket, 50 to 70, so on. So obviously we need more young ones into it. So, and it's a brilliant hobby. You get a lot of achievement out of it. So that's one thing I really need to hit home on, is get someone else involved. I mean, what I do is I bring my daughter in here, my son who's 12, nearly 13 now, and my other daughter. We all help out, and my wife helps out cleaning out and stuff, and lightens the load. And not just that, if you're spending all your time in your shed and not seeing your family, they're going to get knocked up about it. So best way is involve them in it and make it part of the whole family, and let them enjoy it too. So that's just that bit on that. Couple of questions, and for us breeders that have been doing it a long time now, I'll show you in a minute what I've just seen on the floor. For us breeders that have been doing it a long time, we take for granted stuff like nest felts and nest pans and things. And I've had a fair few messages about certain things. Do you like this grass liner? Do we need a felt with that? No, we don't. That is your felt as it is. And as you've probably seen in Derek's video, way back then, some 30 plus years ago, they were using stuff like this. And I've said this previously, that these type of nests are better for the humidity on the birds. You're less likely to get eggs that are or birds that are dead in shell, because they're not so tightly packed. I mean, this is a cocoa nest liner. This, yes, you can use this in a nest pan, 100%. This is a big one for Siberian bullfinches. That would be like your nest felt nest liner. As far as your canary pans, if you was to get such as this type of nest liner, the bigger one for instance, and put it in there, you don't need a nest felt. Nest felts are nest felts. I've said this in the very first video we done. Nest felts are what we need. They're perfect. What the nest felts do is stop the nest itself when it's being built is slipping out. You will get clumsy ends that catch the feet on some of the nesting material, and you imagine that being full of eggs and chicks, and she grabs it, basically just going to pull the whole nest on the floor. So that's why we have nest felts, and I've already shown you the video of how I put them in with the carbolic tub. If you haven't already seen it, just check out our videos that we've done previously and they're on there. Right, what I got interrupted by quickly, this pair of bullfinches. Lily only laid an egg on the floor that's smashed. Now, I know she's not completely finished building her nest yet, so that's probably why. I have seen them tread a number of times, so I'm a bit gutted about that, to be honest. That's birds for you. There is a couple of shots of the hen bird. She's profusely carrying nest material around. She's opted for this front nest here, which is in the grass liner, the bigger type. I have got one in the corner. I've shown you that previously, but she's opted for this, and this is why I actually put two different nest sites in, just to make her comfortable with what she wants. So realistically, it's not ideal me recording here because it's disturbing what she's trying to do. But then again, if I record over this side, which I have previously, I'm disturbing the chicks that's in the nest. Same up that side, I've got cross bills again. So at the end of the day, there's no real easy way to do this than trying to be as quick as possible and cause the birds as less stress as possible while I'm in here recording and disturbing them from going about the general business. Now, on to the birds. I've said already, I've got 8 pairs of 5s. Every single pair of them was eggs were full. Now what I've done is basically, there is one nest that I took out, and the reason I took that out is because I've said already that she only had 2 eggs that were full in there, and another nest was 3 eggs in there. So what I've done is, he's treading her again, is put it's like bird porn in here with these buggers. She's busy trying to build a nest. Anyway, so basically just try and combine the nest together, and if an hen's working on 3, she may as well just do a full nest. What I could have done is easily just split them, put 3 and 3 and spread them around a bit more. But it's the first round, so I'm not that worried at this moment. So go with the top one, cage number 1. She's still on eggs. They're actually due today. I've not checked them yet, it's early morning. And also we've got cage number, which is the other one? This cage number 9 is due out tomorrow. So, but the rest of them have got chicks. Cage number 2, chicks are 6 days old now. I'll showing you some shots. What I've been doing is over the period is I took some pictures of the eggs, the chicks at day 1, day 2, day 3 and so on, just to try and give you a more of a a view of them growing over the period. But as you'll probably see from now onwards, from day 5 to day 14, they grow so quick, and they're a different bird. But here's some shots of the birds. The chicks feed in various stages, of the hens feeding the chicks, and also nice to see is the cock birds feeding and feeding the hens on the nest, and vice versa, stuff like that. It's just something that I see when both parents are feeding the chicks. I think it's amazing to see. But have a look at them, and just enjoy them like I do. It's a lovely sight to see the cockbird feeding the hen bird on the nest there. As you can hear, the shed is full of noise. The birds are in full condition. One of the best times. There's some birds, a couple of pairs in particular, I've had to swap over for various reasons. One being a pair of Norwich, meant to be a pair. It's actually two hens, which for me is better than two cockbirds. So I've had to swap them around. Needless to say, the eggs were clear. It is what it is. The other one was the crossbills. Now, I've said this already before that last year she had clear eggs. I don't believe it's the cockbird, because this is a different cockbird I've tried with this time. I think it's the hen bird. She will be 5 years old now, so she's getting on a little, but as a crossbill, it's not really that old. So what I've decided to do, and right or wrong, it's up to you to decide. I put a greenfinch cock in there. And my way of thinking is testosterone levels with. I'll have to try and get these, try and picture these, or because he's really having. Anyway, my way of thinking is that if I put a greenfinch cock in there, I've got the chance of an hybrid anyway. But not only that, the greenfinches really drive, and crossbills and greenfinches are quite similar in how they breed and the type of birds that they are. Just wait 5 minutes, you. So he may, push that crossbill cock into better condition, or doing a better job at mating, just because there's a competition in there. But either way, I'm not losing anything by trying that, because I had a couple of spare current year bred cockbirds anyway. And if any of you are needing a current year bred cock, send me a message either on Facebook or leave me a comment on here. We have still got a couple to go, but they're not going to stick around forever. They are really nice birds. And like I said before, I can't keep them all, so that's the two changes that I've made. Now, so far as the other birds in the shed, in the flights where the greenfinch, the young greenfinch I mentioned on the video previously, that she went to nest, she laid the eggs, the cockbird was driving her too far, and I came in one morning, she was just moping around on the floor, unhappy. She's only current year hen. I took her out. I've actually put her in a flight cage now, and she's a lot better. I put an older hen bird in with the cockbird, and she stands her ground a bit better. So if I hadn't spotted that sooner, I think he would have probably killed her, and I would have lost her. And she was the very first one that I bred last year, which the egg I took off the floor. So I don't really want to lose her. She's in a cage down there. Now, in this flight, I've done some swapping around, and birds have gone to here, there and everywhere, helping people out as we do. I've just got a bit of a mismatch in here, and there's a pair of linnets, and also there's the linnet crossbill and the two-bar crossbill cross serry. Now, the two hybrid pairs are paired up, and I've just seen him try to mate her now. I've got absolutely no belief that they would be fertile, although there's 1 in a million chance maybe. I'm not sure. Some hybrids and some mules will be fertile, but they're two different kinds of hybrids, and two different kinds of crossbill hybrids at that. So I'm not even bothered about them. I'm not getting rid of them. They're going to be fitter in a flight than they would be in a cage, and not just that, I need the space in the cages for the young, should we breed many, fingers crossed. So yeah, the greenfinches all up in here are all building up. I should imagine they'll be on eggs very soon. Bullfinches in the flight are not doing anything as yet. Not expecting them to. I just keep a track of them. I've shown you already. It's alright, just this minute doesn't look too happy. But yeah, I've shown you already. I carry nesting material around, so you never know. In the flights further up there, we've got the brambles and yellowhammers. I know the yellowhammers are coming into condition. He is singing his backside off at the moment. I'm hoping that their eggs will be full this time, and we can only hope. That's all we can do. If not, I'll just have to get another pair in and swap the cock round and swap the hen round, and hopefully we'll find which is the culprit, which is not fertile, or if it's the hen that's barren or whatever. The brambles, I've still got that flight to do. That's the only one left to do. Otherwise, we're already in the flights. Now to the cages. I've got my Skins Red Pulls. They're all paired up. Everything is hunky-dory, ready to go. Chaffinches up in this cage up in here. I'll probably try and get you some pictures of them, but you have seen them already anyway. They're not doing anything. They are coming into condition. An easy way to tell with chaffinches is the bluing of the beak and the plumage on a cockbird. They changed the plumage from a winter coat to like a summer plumage, and you can always tell them. Let me just have a look at this. I'll back to you shortly. Just one of the linear ends gone a bit light, so I'll have to put some medicine on for her. She didn't even move when I went in the flight to get her, so I just picked her up. I have to get medicine on that as soon as I've finished this. Now, the chaffinch, as we speak, is just carrying now. So that's the straight chaffinch pair. The chaffinch with greenfinch, the hybrid pair, down in this flight cage, not building as yet. They've been together, bear in mind, since last year. I never took them away, I never split them up. They bonded last year, so I thought I'd just leave them with it. The chaffinch greenfinch pair down here, she's built a nest, which she had full eggs last year, so fingers crossed again for them, and hopefully we can get them this year. I'll take a picture of that for you. And one thing as well about chaffinches, they're really slow nest builders. She's been on with this nest about a week now, and I'd imagine another 3 or 4 days before she's even finished. Greenfinch pair above her, I've shown you this on the video before. She built a nest, she's on eggs now. They're all set, so the British are on the way. So that's my birds that I have here. Now on to Mark's birds. We are hoping to get some footage from Mark himself and some pictures. He's got greenfinches on eggs now in his flights. All his birds are kept in flights outside all year round. They're hard enough out there. If he does want to bring them in, he only brings them in for steadying up for showing. That's the only reason he'll do it. He's at it again, this bloody hybrid. So his crossbills, he was ringing yesterday. So I'm hoping we can get a picture of that or even a video of that. But bear in mind, you know, he's at the other side of the country to where I am. I can't go and do it. And Mark's a busy bloke, so it's a matter of trying to get time to do it. So hopefully, but I'm not holding, you know, anything against him if he doesn't. I know how long this type of stuff takes to do. But yeah, so it just shows that, you know, we are heading in towards the end of March now, and the birds are slowly but fast coming into condition. And I've done nothing different to previous years, whether it be vitamins and minerals, the soak seed and conditioning seed. Everything I do is the same, and Mark's doing his way, and everything's working out totally fine. But on the whole, in the shed, I would say 2 more weeks and everything's going to be full time in here. I've already full time with the canaries and stuff over here, like I said, on chicks and things like that. I've also mentioned previously what I do with regards to the egg food and soak seed. One would be filled with, and don't overfill it, soak seed, just like that. And then the other one will just be filled with egg food. So we've got, let's have a look here, see if we can show you. Soak seed and egg food, I would just offer them 2 trays like that with green food separately at this point. They don't need as much nutrients as what the British birds do. Like I said before, that you've seen my mix, which I mix with the egg food and the dried mealworms and all that. I still do use that mix, but this is an everyday food for the canaries. So I'll be first thing in the morning, 6 o'clock before I go to work, is just top these 2 up. My wife will come out and do it halfway through the day, and as soon as I get back from work, 3, 4 o'clock I'll do it. Then I'll do it about 6 o'clock at night. As you can probably note with this egg food, soak seed, it's not filled right to the top. And that is what I've already said previously, that if I give it right to the top, they're going to spit everything about and take the stuff from the bottom. If you feed them little and often, you will find that the hens will be more attentive to feeding the chicks. It's fresh in there every single time. The one up here, she's just attending to her young ones now. The one down here, she's just feeding the young ones. It's all go. It's this time of year you don't know where to be looking. You know, in there they're doing this, they're doing that. But as you can imagine, it's an exciting time when you've got chicks, and my kids love it. My daughter loves coming out here and looking at the babies in the nest, things like that. So that's just a tip for you, just with the soak seed. Don't just pour it in there and leave them for the day, because I'll guarantee you then they'll just feed that once as soon as it's in, and they'll probably stay on the nest. If you put fresh in every few hours, they'll be straight down there having that freshness every time. Just before we go, last thing, we got a question all the way from America. Thanks for watching. It's about rings and ringing. Now, the question was, why do we use the solid rings instead of split rings and things like that? So basically, over here in the UK and other parts of Europe as well, you have to. I mean, we breed British finches, so by law we have to ring the birds at 5 days. But we'll be doing some sort of video or episode on ringing, and or include that in one of the episodes, and when to ring them, things like that. So by law we have to ring birds, and they have to be a solid ring, not a split ring. Split rings or band rings or anything that's soft, you can actually take on and off a bird really easy. I tend to use on the canaries. Mark uses split rings on the greenfinches to determine the pairs. So if he's got 5 aviaries, he might go red, orange, yellow, so on and so on and so on for each pair, and he can at a glance then look and see that nest or them young uns with the yellow ring are to that parent there, and so on and so on. I do the same with the canaries, just to make everything easier, and that's what it's about, making things easier. So if we was to put split rings on your British finches or northern counterparts, Siberian bullfinches and goldfinches, then they're not legally binding, if you know what I mean. They've got to be a solid ring, and they've got to be run correctly. You cannot exhibit or sell any birds that are incorrectly rung in the British species or northern species. Canaries, different story. It just doesn't only show that they are correct and not freshly caught or anything like that. Shows their parentage, shows mine and Mark's, for instance, have got our ring code on. There's various things that we ring birds for, not just for legality. So I hope that has answered your question anyway. I mean, split rings more for canaries for us, hard rings for the British finches, solid rings. I guess I'm going to leave it there for today. I don't want to be disturbing. Like I said, I'm right in the line of where these bullfinches are, and the birds want to feed their chicks and things like that, and I guess I'm just trying to do it around the birds. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you are, or any suggestions of what content we can put in this. There is plenty more to look forward to. I mean, the Derek Aldno video will be aired next Friday, the part 2 that is. Obviously more from in here and from down in Mark's place, and just see how we're getting on. Hopefully these will have found the nest by then and not bloody eggs on the floor. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, and thanks for watching.